Alright, sorry.
Hey Internet, I'm Dan.
I'm Chaz. This is Wine and Serious Business, episode 193. Thank you.
Here today with two rosés, knocking out a quick one. We've had some interesting shows lately with good guests.
We have.
Just wanted to blow through this. We got a really good one lined up for next week too. But I've had these sitting around for a while, and if they sit for too long, you're doing a rosé show in January.
That's not good.
Let's do them while they're fresh. We're going to start out with Dukes Family Vineyard. This is the Blushing Kate Rosé. I went out and visited the winery a couple months ago on the recommendations of some friends, Dave, Lars, and Bo. Thanks for the recommendation. An absolutely beautiful site, man. Like, you drive up and up through all these vineyards, curvy gravel road, like house set, kind of nestled back in the hills, but overlooking most of the vineyards. Gorgeous site, cool Pinot Noirs. And this kind of struck me at the time. I really enjoyed it and said, let's put it on the show. Let's see how it holds up.
What's the story with this? What is it? Is it Pinot?
Rosé Pinot Noir, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, being in
2011, eola-amity hills. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was just wondering if it was Pinot or something.
It's dark, right? So I guess
it's a little dark for
making me second guess myself here. But handcrafted with the state fruit. Yeah, I think it's Pinot Noir. Call me out if I'm wrong. I'm somebody who's watching this knows for sure.
Well, it smells pleasing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
a little funky earth, a little bit of watermelon.
Definitely the watermelon components. I'm getting a little red vine candy as well, but I mean, like, yeah, the fresh watermelon components are definitely the most prevalent aroma. Smells good.
Nice and tart on the palate. I'm getting a little bit like the tart cherry, kind of light strawberry.
A little bit like the edge of the watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Like not entirely ripe, like a little bit of like the watery, almost like the green edge, but in a good way. I mean,
yeah, just a touch. Yeah,
I'm that sucker that eats all the way out to the rind. You know, like so. It's got a little bit of that and a little bit of the seediness too. Like there's just a little bit there. It's nice. Yeah, definitely fresh, really easy to drink, very pleasurable.
Yeah, just a little like a little tart, like a little bitter. It kind of reminds me like a little bit of rhubarb. And this isn't the dominant character. I think like these lighter strawberries, I think are kind of more in the forefront. But right, that little bit of bitterness, I guess, adds some complexity, and it stays light. I think.
I agree. And summery, easy wine.
Yeah.
Delicious. So 86-ish points for me.
Yeah, 87 for me. Right, nothing to go crazy about, but totally pleasant drinking. I don't even remember offhand. So
right.
I'd say around 20, right?
Okay.
Like low 20s, high teens, somewhere in there. Pretty straightforward for Willamette Valley Riesling kind of price range.
Not Riesling.
Rosé, man.
Real material.
Yeah, no. I think we're gonna keep that one. But, yeah, kind of what you expect. It is Willamette Valley Rosé, but yeah, a little bit of complexity. Still pleasant, easy drinking.
It is. The things that are really nice about this are very nice, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just easy, delicious, and somewhat simple. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
So on to wine number 2. From DePonte Cellars, this is their 2012 Rosé of Pinot Noir. Another one that we both tasted and thought was pretty solid. So let's bring it on the show. Let's talk about it.
And Isabel from DuPont makes the wines. We love her. Just saw her recently, but really enjoy her Pinots. And the rosés can be. I think the rosés show almost the vintage almost more than the Pinots sometimes.
It varies. The rosé varies a lot.
A lot,
right?
Yeah.
Like I love a lot of the wines they make, but I don't love the rosé every year.
Exactly. And it's cool because I mean it's completely different every year, and that's what I like about it.
Yep.
So.
And this one's also showing just a lot of that light red fruit.
Strawberry watermelon, totally. But
kind of some like ice cubes in there too, or something like that, like edging towards minerality, or just kind of refreshing in the nose. Even.
Mm. It's certainly pleasant on the palate, though.
Yeah.
Wow. It's got a really long expression of acidity, whereas like it sort of starts out with raspberry and cherry, or not cherry flavors, raspberry and strawberry flavors. The acidity lingers for a long amount of time, and yeah, I don't know, it's just completely unlike the Dukes in that sense. Like whereas the acidity came in sort of late, sort of a secondhand thing. Like this is right off the bat. So.
Yeah, I think all the flavors linger for a long time on the palate. I really like what he said about raspberry. Like my mind wasn't quite getting there, but it's better. Like touch of the strawberry, but it's just that light fruit flavor, a little bit of tartness. Right, there's definitely a little more acidity here, and
Agreed.
And all of it kind of sits for a long time on the palate. The acidity lingers, keeping things pretty dry on the finish.
Mm-hmm. You just like touch of heat on the finish, a little bit of warmth.
Not me, but that's why there's two of us.
Yeah,
so.
a little bit of alcohol in the finish. Not a bad thing, but surprising. So
And I'm getting a little more, while it's interesting, this had a little more earthy flavors that I kind of would associate with skins. I am getting a little, like to me it feels like a little bit of tannins that show up light.
Agreed. There is much more texture here than the Dukes. You don't immediately place that with tannins, but anyway. So.
88 for me, honestly, I'm not as excited about it as I was when I had it the first time, but still really solid. I really like the flavors. I really like how they stick around. It's one that you can kind of sip, and enjoy intermittently. It's dry enough that it kind of makes you reach for another glass after you've had it in your mouth for a while, and I like that. And it's just pretty well integrated at this point too. I think it is drinking nicely in that sense now as well.
I think this is a little more acidic than previous takes on her wine for me. The fruit is definitely more prevalent in previous generations, or at least that I've had. And there's just a weird play for me with the acidity and with the alcohol levels in this one. I'm a little less excited about it. So 86 points for me.
Sure.
Right in lines with Dukes, but another delicious. It's delicious. 86 points is a delicious wine, but just.
Yeah, not as much excitement.
Not as exciting as normally. Anyway, so.
Yeah, so 2 rosés, quick show, knock it out there. Question of the day.
We didn't even think about it.
We're in a new setting. If you haven't noticed, how many of you moved within the past 6 months? Chaz's new place.
I did. Anyway.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.